Hi, good evening, everyone, and a heartfelt welcome to our second Achiever talk show. My name is Uma Sharma. I am National Head Business HR and Talent Acquisition, and I'm really excited to host this inspiring session with our achiever, Ms. Deepika Gupta Padhi, National Head Investor Relations and Treasury. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you, Deepika, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you very much for having me. Good evening, everyone.
To begin with, I would like to start with a powerful quote by Michelle Obama, which actually truly resonates with our Achiever Talk show series. There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. It truly talks about the essence of our achievers they bring to the foray, which is they are breaking the boundaries, pushing the limits, and they are achieving everything, whatever they want to achieve in their life. So, if they can achieve, so can everyone. So, now let's take an exclusive look into the personal and professional journey of Miss Deepika, who carries with her a wealth of almost 2 decades plus experience, out of which almost 8 plus years with PNB Housing. She's been associated, and her journey here with us actually talks about her passion, persistent, and the vision which she carries along with herself for the future growth. To start with, Deepika, can you share with us how your career journey began? Starting with how and why did you decide to pursue your post graduation in finance?
So it actually goes back to my childhood. So I come from a business family, and my father he's a businessman. My mother is a housewife, and from the very beginning, numbers were always there. I mean, so my father, I have always seen him doing mental math. जो अभी आजकल स्कूलों में पढ़ाते हैं ना, मेंटल मैथ करना होता है. My father has always done that, and I was always inspired by those kind of things. So the numbers came very easy to me, and that's the reason that became my thought that okay, at the end of the day, I will do something in finance. And I still remember the day I was preparing for my MBA, and when I went for the class, the first question was asked was, okay, which specialization you will do. By that time, I had not thought that okay, there are specializations. I have to decide what I have to do, and then the immediate response was finance, and that's where it is. Of course, when I got into a finance field, I realized that there's so much more to it. It's not only numbers, it's beyond numbers. Of course, numbers is an integral part to finance, but and I enjoy doing it, I love doing it, and that's how I got into a finance field, and I continued my journey into the finance field and doing on that front. My parents did play a very important role to where I am today.
Lovely, and I think that's how I think our parents, and not only parents, whosoever are in our surroundings, they play a very pivotal role in our career paths which we want to take. Lovely. Now coming to the next question, which comes, how we've all seen you the way you're working, though your work requires a lot of travel, but would like to understand how do you balance between your personal life, especially your work is quite demanding as far as we all have seen. So how do you balance between your work and personal life?
So let me just, I mean, everybody has their own way of doing things. Something which we always say that there should be a clear, I mean, your work life and personal lives are two different things. You should maintain that. I don't believe into that. Frankly speaking, there is nothing called work life or a personal life. It always get intermingled. It will get intermingled. I mean, at any point of time, how much harder you try, you will take home work and you will work at night, and so that's very much there. So the way one balances things out is to prioritize your list, right? So there is a top priority which is a complete no do. I mean, which means that if I have to do this, I have to do this. So for me, if it is my daughter's birthday, I have to take a leave on that day, whatever it may be. I mean, because that day is something which is a no negotiable day for me. Very simple. So that is one side of the story, what I have done. The other side of story, which again I have done, is to seek support. The best part about India, about us, we have families, we have extended families whom we can actually use to support us at any point of time. May it be parents, may it be in-laws. I mean, in our case, of course, in-laws plays an important role. The spouses, friends, family, everyone.
Next is as an achiever, now you being seen as a role model in our organization. So, how do you see yourself inspiring and actually, supporting other women colleagues in PNB Housing?
Very interesting, Uma. And I think more than me inspiring or people like us inspiring others, I think it comes within. That's the most important thing. At the end of the day, I myself have to think that, okay, I want to reach there. As I mentioned, that what inspires me is keep dreaming, keep achieving, right? So if I have set a target for myself, and that's what I urge, first and foremost, I actually will urge that. So there's always two techniques, right? Push and pull. So as an organization, we can, of course, try and push the talent within the organization to take more responsibilities, to apply for more roles and responsibilities which are available. And as an organization, the best part is we have IJPs and we have these kind of things which keeps on coming, and one can actually take note of that and can apply onto that front, and you can actually get bigger role. I did for myself. When I joined this organization, I had a certain role, and then I asked for another additional role, and I got the additional role, and that's how treasury and investor relations came hand in hand for me. So that's where it is. One has to ask for it and apply for it. So that is very important. Of course, the organization can always go for hiring from outside places, but it's always better to have internal talent if they are going about it. So that is one thing. But having said so, I would urge my colleagues to actually introspect, to prioritize your life, that okay, how do you want to see yourself and achieve things, what do you want to achieve in your life, and accordingly take a call. There will be I won't say challenges, but there will be times when you will be bogged down, when you will think that oh, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा, there's so much to do. मतलब ऑफिस में भी इतना सारा काम है, बॉस ने इतना सारा काम दे दिया है, और घर पे भी जाकर खाना भी देखना है और बच्चे को भी पढ़ाना है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें करनी होती हैं. But I think women are made in such a way that we are able to multitask a lot of these things, and with the support we can definitely do it. So my sincere advice that ask for more, you will get more. If you do not ask, you will not get it. So ask for it and get it, and you yourself will see that after some time it's easy.
Now, coming to the women in leadership. So, what are your hopes for the future of women in leadership, and especially in PNB Housing Finance?
So I think, Uma, let's remove the word hope and let's talk about reality. That's what I would personally like to see. There's one thing which has really bothered me always is, and which I've seen also multiple times, that I've seen women very good in their work, but when it comes to maternity, they go. They post maternity, I've seen many females, they turn down the professional work, and they are more focused on the personal lives. Not good, not bad. I'm not saying anything on that front. Everybody has their own choices. But then at the end of the day, people who have come back have realized that this is a better choice being made, because not only for yourself but also for the family. So of course we have to do a lot of work onto this front. There's a lot of things which you and HR team and everyone, the leadership team, is definitely doing on this front, and we do see many women being there, many policies and which we are working towards it. A bit more is required, and in that bit more, I think, as I had mentioned earlier also, as a women, we also should think of taking more responsibilities, think of applying for more, maybe IJPs, taking more responsibility. Go to your supervisor and tell them that okay, I'm looking for something more. What can I do? This is what I complete. If I'm able to complete my work within the timelines and efficiently, and if I start working more efficiently, I would realize that I do have time and I can utilize that time, and there I can take more responsibilities. So these kind of things will definitely help at the end of the day. So yeah, that's where it is. The process and the policies on the one hand, which an organization can give on the one side. On the other side, as an individual, my aspirations, my priorities is something which will matter. So both these things, if they intermix with each other. And third thing, which definitely helps on the day-to-day working, is the supervisor's role, right? To guide them, to support them. If somebody is asking for a newer role and you are actually giving, then see the achievement of that person. No gender over here. It's only the person, right? What a person can do, and then accordingly allocate those kind of roles and responsibilities. I think these three things actually, if you see a Venn diagram, there are always these three circles, and in between, then this comes. And that's where what we are talking about. All the three things have to fall in place. Company is doing a lot. As an individual, we have to do our own bit. And as a supervisor, definitely we have to ensure that these things are taken into account. And hence we fit ourselves into that Venn diagram.
True, true. Let's do a rapid fire questions.
Okay?
Yeah. So whatever comes to your mind, I mean, I'm sure there's nothing right or wrong, as you rightly mentioned at the beginning. So a book or podcast that changed your perspective on leadership.
Indira Nooyi book, her biography, is something which I really urge everyone to read.
Okay. One habit that contributed to your success.
Reading newspaper in the morning. Very important. I mean, even in today's time, today's age, that 15 minutes to half an hour reading newspaper, knowing what is going around in the economy, in India, in outside, really helps you and builds you up for your future.
A mantra which you live by at work.
I think I did mention my values. Time is value. Second is keep dreaming and keep achieving.
Okay, a very interesting question, I think. How important has networking been in your career, and how can we build it for ourselves?
Very important. Look, I mean, why networking is important is not only कि मुझे उससे never think networking कि मैं कल इससे मुझे कोई काम पड़ सकता है. No, just knowing people, right? And how do you build networking is ensuring that you are there, right? So you are talking to. So let's say I changed my organization. Even today, my first organization, people whom I knew, I'm in touch with them, right? They know what I'm doing, how I'm doing. I know what they are doing. So that's where it is. I mean, you have to make time for them in that sense. And I'm not saying you need not to spend like an hour a day. Absolutely no. An hour a month or an hour in 2 months is also good enough for that matter. It's only that as and when it is there, never lose contact or never lose touch with the people whom you have met and whom you had built a certain kind of rapport. Never lose connect with them. Always keep on connecting with them.
Okay, another next one is when you're mentoring a young leader, what is that one quality, virtue, value you absolutely ensure to instill in that person?
Understanding and sincerity. Why I said understanding? A lot of times when we do our work, we don't understand that. We are just doing it because it is to be done in a certain manner. And this is what I always tell everyone, that if you're doing something, you should know the basis behind that number. If you're not number, whatever you are doing, I mean, you should know where it has come from. If I'm putting something in a certain fashion, there has to be a logic behind it. It is not done just like that. So understand those things, because that will help you when you grow up the ladder and somebody is trying to make fool out of you, you will not become. I mean, it's something which helps. And of course, sincerity is very important. कभी कभी मस्ती करना is okay, but then one has to be really sincere in their work if you really want to learn things in your life.
Right. Thank you so much, Deepika. So as we come to an end of this session, I would like to leave everyone with few lines in Hindi for remembrance for this session. So it's like this: खुद पे भरोसा है तो रास्ते खुद ही मिल जाते हैं. खुद पे भरोसा है तो रास्ते खुद ही मिल जाते हैं. कदम उठाओ तो मंजिलें खुद बन जाती हैं, खुद बुला भी लेती हैं. हौसलों से है रास्ता और जज्बे से है उड़ान. ये है अपनी कहानी और ये है अपना आसमान और अपने आसमान की आन. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's remember, I think Deepika rightly mentioned that each one of us have our own unique story, our own unique experiences, our own unique challenges. But let's keep pushing boundaries and keep making path for ourselves as we move forward in our journeys. And lastly, let's celebrate each other. Let's make
Yeah.
an inspiring and empowered workplace for ourselves. So stay tuned for our next Achiever session. Keep aiming higher. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.